What's going on YouTube? We're back here with another video on 7 Deadly Sins Origin, and this is going to be a reroll guide for my people that do wanna reroll. Okay, so the first thing I want to get into is how to reroll. Now I'm gonna be honest, I'm not totally sure because the game's releasing on Steam and PlayStation first, and obviously with Steam and PlayStation you already have an account, so I don't know how you're going to be able to reroll on Steam or PlayStation. Usually the game comes out on mobile and you can reroll on mobile, because on mobile is a lot more easier because you're able to log into various different accounts, you know, or you could just, you know, delete accounts. But with Steam and PlayStation, obviously it doesn't work as simple as that because you already have an account. So unless they're going to have some system in the game that allows you to go to settings and delete your account and lets you restart the game, then you can reroll via that. But that's going to be the only way I could think of on the top of my head. It's usually the typical way of just being able to delete your account or just log into a different account. But as I said, usually these games release on mobile first, and that's how it usually works on mobile. It releasing on Steam and PlayStation is just a whole different scenario. So as I said, if Steam and PlayStation, if you have a whole bunch of accounts, then yeah, go ahead. But the only way I could think of is if they have a setting in the game where it actually allows you to log into different Google accounts or whatever, or if it lets you delete your account to be able to restart the game over. That's the only way I could think of how the rerolling would work. But that aside, now we're gonna get into reroll targets, and as you guys can see here with this tier list, these are probably gonna wanna probably be the characters you want to target for. So you have Meliodas, Jericho, Diane in S tier. You could arguably put Manny up there as well, and in A tier we've got Elaine King. We're gonna skip out on this character here as well, and even though she's gonna be free, you might see some people put an A tier too, you know, but she is free, so obviously you probably don't want to get her and you want to get someone else just so you have more of a, you know, more of a roster. But yeah, and Slayer is an SR character, by the way, not an SSR character. But yeah, obviously you're probably going to want to aim for an S tier or an A tier character. Meliodas is going to be a limited banner, so it's probably going to be a lot more harder to reroll for him. But Jericho, Diane is going to probably be the two characters you might see most people try to go for. But honestly, I feel like even the A tier characters are fine. The thing that really separates is Meliodas, Jericho, and Diane having that DPS, you know. I think they're going to be very top tier DPS characters, of course, and they're going to help you carry you through the game. So that's why they might seem like more of a target than other characters, right? Even though support characters and stuff are obviously always usually good because they take longer to get power creep, and they're obviously going to be able to just help push your account as well for your DPS character. But I think for now, you're obviously going to be aiming for a DPS character, so you might see a lot more people go for Jericho and Diane for rerolling targets. But as I said, I think even if you get the A tier characters, that's like totally fine as well. So yeah, depending on who you like, or if they're S tier, A tier, you could kind of go off on this. But there is one thing I also want to show you guys, is that they have like this advanced thing over here. So depending on what type of weapon they have, changes their tier list. So as you can see with Jericho, Meliodas, Manny, when it comes to their dual swords, they're all in S tier. You know, someone like Diane is just straight A tier in every type of weapon, which I feel like is pretty cool and pretty nice. You know, you're seeing King here with his booked staff in A, Meliodas with his longsword and axe still in A, you know, so pretty interesting here. And yeah, just something you guys can see for your reroll targets, because you know there might be some of you guys that might use a specific weapon or whatnot, or just want to know what weapon brings the best out of the character. So if you do get Jericho, if you do want to have the best version of Jericho, it does seem like you might want to go the dual swords way instead of the rapier or the lance, and so on as well. And with the Meliodas, obviously dual swords. So yeah, 3 S tier dual swords is actually kind of crazy. So yeah, we went on how you could potentially be able to reroll, who you might want to aim for. Now we are going to get into the rewards. I don't know if this is going to come up like, I mean, now you guys should be able to see it's perfectly fine. But here you're going to have pre-launch rewards. So this is what you guys could be potentially looking like. As they say, up to 373 draw chances. That's a lot of pulls. Okay, now how long is it going to take to get these amount of pulls? That's the different question, of course, right? But here you also have a code as well, so you guys might want to do that. You got 5 pulls here. This is the code right here, welcome origin. So I'm pretty sure it's just important to know these two things for your reroll. So you know how many pulls you're getting, you know you're getting her for free, so you want to target a different SSR character. And yeah, you know, just so your account starts off really well, and obviously just getting a few more extra pulls in your reroll, just use this code right here. And as you guys can see, we are going to get 10 pulls. Now I don't know when we're getting these 10 pulls, but you know, there might be a chance you could reroll in a Meliodas. It might be really hard because you only get one multi, but if you do get these 10 ticket draws here straight away, then it would be possible to reroll for Meliodas. But yeah, that's going to be it for the reroll, guys. There's no need to, you know, ramble anymore. I told you guys how it could be possible to reroll. If you guys do totally want to reroll, then it's probably going to be best to wait until mobile comes out. And well, I showed you guys the tier list, so you guys could consider those type of characters reroll targets. And well, I also showed you guys the launch rewards, a code as well, and what you could possibly be getting if you play the game, and what we could potentially be getting at launch as well. Because if you are able to get these 10 pulls straight away when you do when you're finished with the tutorial, or when you unlock the summoning, then you know you could potentially reroll for Meliodas. But that's going to be it from your boy. Like, subscribe, run up. Catch you guys in the next one. I'm out.